all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning and happy Friday to you. This is the All You Need to Know podcast on Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today's the 19th of June. Here's a message at the start of your weekend. Please do continue to be vigilant. While restrictions may be coming to an end, the number of cases of COVID-19 is rising at the fastest pace yet in India. In case you didn't hear, in the 24 hours to 8 a.m. yesterday, more than 13,000 fresh cases were added. So do take all precautions and, if possible, stay home and stay safe. In the top news this morning, here's a Bloomberg exclusive. Reliance Industries could be closing in on a deal that would see it acquire stakes in some units of Future Group, according to people familiar with the matter. An agreement between Reliance Industries and Future, which already has a partnership with Amazon.com, could be announced as early as next month. But the report also said that no final decision has been taken and talks could be delayed or, in fact, may not result in a transaction. Meanwhile, Saudi Arabia's wealth fund Public Investment Fund has bought a 2.3% stake in Jio Platforms for 11,367 crore rupees, according to a statement from Reliance Industries. This is PIF's largest investment in the Indian economy to date. Morgan Stanley acted as financial advisor to RIL for the deal. With this investment, Jio Platforms has now raised 1.15 lakh crore rupees, a little more than that, from leading global investors. In news in the banking space, a Reserve Bank of India panel set up in June last year recommended a population-based approach for fixing ATM interchange fees and customer charges. The report, however, was not made public, and there is no indication if the regulator intends to accept the suggestions. In top news internationally, the tensions between the US and China continue to simmer. President Donald Trump said the US could pursue a complete decoupling from China in response to unspecified conditions, his most forceful statement yet on the souring ties between Beijing and Washington. In a tweet yesterday, Trump refuted comments a day earlier by U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, who said a full decoupling of the world's two biggest economies was not a reasonable option. Also in the U.S., applications for unemployment benefits fell less than forecast last week, showing only gradual improvement from the worst of the pandemic-related layoffs. Initial jobless claims for regular state programs stood at 1.5 million in the week ended June 13th, down slightly from a revised 1.57 million in the previous period. The 58,000 weekly drop was the smallest since the claims began to fall in early April. Asian stocks traded mixed early today after a muted session on Wall Street saw shares end little changed. The Dow ended lower by a little over 0.1%, while the S&P 500 was flat. The Nasdaq rose 0.3%. Two of the three early rises in the Asia-Pacific region were trading positive last I checked. The Nikkei 225 was higher by about 0.33%, but with lower volumes. And with that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Good morning, Agam. How are we looking to end the week here in India?
Good morning, Alex, and a happy Friday, listeners. Well, we're looking at muted cues from the Asian indices, and the SGX Nifty futures is also trading absolutely flat at this point in time, which means we could see a quiet opening for Indian markets as well. And with that, let's move on to stocks in the news. Right at the top, we have Reliance Industries, where we have yet another investment in Reliance Jio Platforms. Saudi Arabia's The Public Investment Fund will invest 11,370 crores in Jio Platforms, and Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund will get 2.3% for this investment. And with this, Jio Platform has raised over 1,15,000 crores from leading global investors including Facebook, Silver Lake, Vista Equity Partners, General Atlantic, KKR, Mubadala, ADI, TPG and El Capitan. Moving on, we have news for the pharmaceutical companies where the Director General of Foreign Trade has removed prohibition on export of hydrochloroquine API and its formulations. Staying with the pharma sector, Cipla and Roche Pharma entered into an agreement to provide better access to innovative medicines for patients in India. Cipla will be responsible for marketing and distribution of Roche Pharma's trademark oncology drugs, which will include Herclone, Avastin, and Ristova. We have Tata Motors, which is in the news, where its long-term ratings have been downgraded by Moody's to B1 from Ba3. The outlook on all ratings has been changed to negative from ratings under review, and the downgrade reflects the sustained deterioration in the company's credit profile and expectations that it will take longer than previously expected for the company's credit metrics to return to levels appropriate for a Ba3. And in terms of a handful of earnings, we have Bajaj Consumer Care, which has come up with a decline in net sales to the tune of 29%, and its net profit is down 60%. Its margins have also contracted considerably, and that is largely on account of lower sales and higher expenses. Moving on, we have Brigade Enterprises as well, where revenues have declined 16% with net profit down 95% to just 2.7 crores on account of pandemic-related weakness. And today, we will be having results from LIC Housing Finance, Cadila Healthcare and Bajaj Electricals, among many others. Now, these are just some of the stocks we can watch out for as we move into trade today, but don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. That's all we have for you on this podcast, but as always, there's a lot more on the website, BloombergQuint.com, so don't forget to check it out. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great end to the week and an amazing weekend.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you can listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma. Or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.